What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? AJ Good here at the House of Masks, where we unbox and review cool stuff almost every single day, and we've got yet another flex video.
Normal, Beatty, and for the ladies, Harry.
I feel like pretty much every video since PaleFest has just been a flex video.
Now I'm a jerk and everybody loves me.
PaleFest? More like Pale Flex, am I right? Anyways, today's video is yet another one of those flex videos, and I just can't help myself. It's like T-Pain used to say.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what.
All jokes aside, 2022 has obviously been the year of the House of Masks, and we just keep taking W after W after W, and I don't know if it's just luck, I don't know if all my hard work is finally paying off, but one thing's for sure, cool shit just keeps happening. Now, if you guys watched my full PaleFest Gifts review video where I went over all of the fantastic items that I received during PaleFest, you probably saw a very special Corey Taylor mask. And I didn't want to dive too deep on that mask in that video because it is most certainly worthy of its own video, and I think that the entire story behind this piece is super interesting. So I am going to go ahead and show you guys exactly what we have, and what we have is a real We Are Not Your Kind Corey Taylor mask. Full silicone, straight from Tom Savini's studio. And yes, this thing is 100% legit. Again, kind of like pretty much everything else that happened around PaleFest, this thing just kind of came out of nowhere. Literally, the night before the festival, I got a call from one of my good friends, Mr. Joey Simpson, who was attending the fest as a vendor, and he said, "Hey, I'm with a friend of mine, and they have a gift for you." Now, I had no idea what he was talking about as the gift, or who the gift was coming from, but as he panned his phone over, on FaceTime, I could slowly but surely see Jason Baker holding this piece. Jason Baker, of course, works for Tom Savini. He is an incredible artist that does all kinds of work with everybody from Corey Taylor to The Fiend, Bray Wyatt. Words could not describe my absolute girlish excitement when I realized what was going on. But what a really, really rad gift, and it just seems like something else that was meant to be. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw this guy on ahead so that we can display it while we make these calls, and then we will give Jason and Joey a call and see what they have to say about how this all came to be. So here we have it, on display on a foam head for the first time ever, my real We Are Not Your Kind Corey mask, and there's really not a whole lot that I can tell you about this piece. I can tell you that the We Are Not Your Kind Corey conceptually is one of my all-time favorite Corey Taylor masks. I can tell you that I've worn this thing once and that it is super, super comfy. This is like one of the best things I've ever put my face in.
That's what she said.
And I can tell you that this is the only known copy in the hands of any collector. So I think that Tom Savini's studio has one, I have one, and then Corey Taylor has all of the rest, which is pretty cool. Now when I call this a real We Are Not Your Kind Corey Taylor mask, I mean it. This is straight from the mold, straight from the original artists that make Corey's, and it's about the closest thing that I'll ever get to a stage-used We Are Not Your Kind Corey, unless Corey Taylor comes through for me like he said he would back in 2017. Wink, wink. I didn't wink when I said wink, wink. Let's try that again. Wink, wink. So for all that I can't tell you, we are going to go ahead and hop on a call with Jason Baker and have him tell you as much as he can about the mask. And then we're going to hop on a call with Joey Simpson, and he's going to talk about being the middleman in this deal, even though it wasn't a deal. It was just a gift from Jason. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop on FaceTime with Jason Baker. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jason Baker here, live in the flesh. How are you?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, dude. Doing a lot better because of this.
Yeah.
So
I went to a good home.
You got to tell me the story on how this even came to be, because you and I really don't know each other too well.
No, we have a mutual friend, Joey from Kissing Candace,
Mm-hmm.
and we just moved. You know what's funny was we just moved our studio space, Closing Studios, and I was moving. I actually found that in the box. It was one of the ones that we ran for Corey, and he never picked it up or never needed it to spare. And so I was just sitting here, and I was like, Joey and I were talking, and he was saying he was coming out to see it, and I was like, it just kind of clicked. I was like, I know who'd give this a good home better than us, who just shoved it in the box and let it collect dust for 2 years.
Oh yeah, this was a super unexpected score, but as soon as he turned the phone around on that FaceTime, I was like, oh my god, no way.
Yeah.
Yeah, super cool. So,
thanks for all the support and everything over the years. So we really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I want to talk a little bit just conceptually, since you are one of the people that brought this mask to life for Corey. Just what can you tell me about the process? What kind of ideas he gave you? How you guys came up with this? Because this was hands down the most controversial Corey Taylor mask ever.
That was the first time I've ever pissed off the internet. So that was.
I gotta say, man, like conceptually, it's probably my all-time favorite Corey Taylor mask.
Well, thanks. Yeah, I stand by it, man. I know it was very polarizing for people. I think one of the big things that happened was when everybody found out that me and Tom were making a mask for Corey. Everybody thought this was going to be this like 9th level of hell, just absolute gore fest, and it was like, no, we're gonna keep you guys guessing, and people were just not happy.
They really weren't.
But but that's the beauty of of rock and roll, of heavy metal, of being of Corey. Corey is so just keeping people guessing, keeping them on his toes, and that's what I loved, and I was so excited about it. It was people thought it was going to be this like horrible, gory, disgusting thing, and it was like, no, we kept it very sleek and elegant, and when we were originally talking with Corey, well, one, how we totally even ended up with the thing was I met Corey through a mutual friend. Him and Tom had known each other for a few years, met at cons and shows and stuff. We were just talking, and I was like, yeah, man, you ever need help making one of your masks or doing something? Tom and I would love to work with you. You seem like a great guy, and that was it. Kind of, Corey was like, yeah, maybe, whatever. And a conversation, and then 2 weeks later, I get a call from Corey. He's like, hey, man, do you still want to do my mask? And I was like, yes, Corey Taylor, Slipknot. I think we can work your schedule.
He's such a good dude too. I can only imagine that working with him was probably a really, really fun thing.
Yeah, I was a huge fan. I still am a huge fan of Slipknot. Not to date myself, but grew up in the new metal phase and late '90s, early 2000s. Loved Slipknot, and and just get to be, even if it is considered the worst mask in Slipknot, I still get to. I will take making the worst mask of Slipknot compared to never doing anything. I'm like, I still get to be part. I'm still this little tiny cog that's part of the legacy of Slipknot. So
absolutely,
you can never take that from me. So, so Corey came and we just started talking with Tom and coming up with the idea. And the idea was sort of almost like a burn compression mask, something that was very, very sleek. Very something, because he had the idea from day one to change his makeup every single day, and to go from there. So it was really interesting, and also from a technical aspect, figuring out how to do it was one of the more challenging things that Tom and I have ever done. Because usually when you do a silicone, is you put stuff what's called a power mesh, so that helps keep the elasticity and also keep the durability of the silicone. Well, we couldn't put that in the mask because you would see it. We needed it translucent. So Tom and I, we looked like mad scientists, had the whole Walter White Jesse cooking meth suits on to figure out what would be the best, most durable silicone that was still translucent. And then we had to build almost like a clean room, because any little piece of dust or debris or anything fell in there, you'd see it, and that hole was completely run. So it took us probably 5 runs to figure out exactly how to make it 100% precise and clean and sterile. And so we go through all this scientific aspects of making this mask, and then the internet's like, oh yeah, you guys just glued a milk jug to his face.
Of course.
So
well, okay, so 2 things.
Fuck me, whatever.
Luckily, that's subjective, and I think as the curator of Slipknot masks, I appreciate the subtlety and the concept behind it, because there's nothing more Slipknot than the tribal-esque, constant changing. Joey did it with all of his masks for the first 2 records. Clown did it for the entirety of .5. He had a new mask every single night that was just how he felt. And I just think that that's a super rad concept. Secondly, there's something that I want to ask you before I forget, because this has been bothering us mask collectors for a while. How many copies of this mask does Corey have? Because there seems to be some that are tinted somewhat yellow that we almost never saw, or a green kind of Slimer look. There are others that are almost pure white that aren't see-through.
I think a lot of that was just the way the light caught it,
yeah.
The way he did his makeup under it. One of the other things too that happened was, obviously we had to go in and adjust it and put the slits into it because Corey had lost like 25, almost 30 pounds between the time we did his life cast to the time we finished it.
Oh, wow.
So, when you sculpt it, you make it to fit the life cast, and then when he puts it on, he was much thinner in the face. So that's why, like, the first few shots, and we didn't get a chance to test fit it because they were so late in the game, and they were just, I think Corey was the last one to get his mask done.
Oh, really?
For that album, so it was we just had to send it to him, and then we tried it on, and it looked great. And then there was like one or two albums where it didn't, or one or two concerts where you could see that it obviously wasn't fitting it properly.
Yeah.
So like I called him, I was like, dude, I don't care where you're at. As soon as you get back in the States, let me know. I'll come and meet you. And I flew all the way to Seattle. And was like, I'm going to pay out of pocket to make sure this thing is like fixed and corrected. And we did. We just fixed it right on his bus and did the stitches, and that was his idea, and I thought it looked awesome and great. And, again, one of the reasons I like it is it reminds me of the very first time I ever saw Slipknot was they were actually opening up for Cold Chamber in Seattle in like 98 or 99, like supporting their first album. And I loved that all of their masks were just this like homemade, like, obviously clowns look like some like dime store, clown mask. Corey's was the inside out crash tummy. But it had this like homemade can-do vibe, and that's sort of the like feel we were going with this, was that it was almost like a medical prosthesis.
Yeah.
It's sort of the aesthetic that we were aiming for with it. So I mean, I'm still very proud of it. Again, I got to make a mask for Corey Taylor.
Yeah.
It's definitely a notch on the old belt there. So.
Absolutely, man. And again, I just want to stress that it is one of my favorites. So the fact that you sent one over definitely means the world to me, and we'll obviously have a great, happy home here at the House of Masks. So.
I know, I can't wait to come and see it, and I want to see all your bar stuff. I'm a huge fan of bars.
Yeah, very, very soon we'll have to make that happen, so we'll talk about that in the future for sure. Well, I appreciate you stopping by, man, and
thanks for having me, and I'm so glad we finally got to connect and everything. So.
Yep, I'm going to be dropping all of Jason's information down below. You guys should definitely go check him out if you haven't already. Do you have anything that you want to plug or add?
No, man, just keep watching out, Thanks again for everything. Thanks for all the support with Corey and Bray. And
Awesome. All right, man. Well, we got to get you down here soon for sure.
Absolutely, I'd be honored.
All right, man.
All right, buddy. Thank you so much.
Cool. All right, so we've heard from the artist that had a hand in helping create this mask alongside Tom Savini, but now it's time to hear from my brother from another mother, Mr. Joey Simpson. Now, Joey was essentially the mule in this deal, and I don't know why I keep calling it a deal because it wasn't a deal, it was a gift that I was surprised with, but I don't know what else to call it. Regardless, Joey knew what was going on. Joey knew about the gift, Joey transported the gift, and Joey's a big-time Slipknot fan as well as a good friend of mine and of Jason Baker's. Joey has also done shows at Knotfest and is good friends with a few members of Slipknot, so I think that he would have a pretty interesting take on this entire situation. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and give Joey Simpson a ring and stir up some conversation on that end.
Yo!
Hey, guy that I definitely didn't talk to right before this.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. I don't know. Showbiz is a lie.
Fuck is going on?
All right, man. So today,
Oh, dude, yes.
got to talk about this guy. And like I told the viewers right before I called you, I had talked to Jason Baker, who will also be in this video. He is one half of the team responsible for putting this together for Corey, and he is the one that gifted it to me. But aside from his perspective in this weird deal, I wanted to talk to you for a variety of reasons. Not only are you friends with Jason, friends with me, huge Slipknot fan. Uh-oh, there we go.
Yep, no, we're good.
And you were the mule. You were the guy that brought it to me. So you knew about this before I knew about it. And I just kind of wanted to have a general discussion about how cool this is, because to a normal person, it's whatever. But this is a real mold Corey Taylor, Tom Savini, Jason Baker piece, and I think that's pretty freaking sweet, so.
I mean, it's awesome, and yeah, like, so I was on my way from New York to Palefest, and I had to drop by Jason's and Tom's studio in Pittsburgh to have them do some minor repairs on Aunt Donna's mouth because I had slit it, just because I was getting a lot of muffle during the live shows. So he was going to kind of, just do some cool little stitching around the mouth. And we were just shooting the shit, and I happened to say I was going over to the House of Masks, and he's like, oh, that's AJ, right? And I'm like, yeah, I've known him for fucking ever, And he's like, yeah, he's got a fucking wicked Slipknot collection. And then he's like, is he a cool dude? And I'm like, he's probably one of my closest friends. I'm like, I've known him forever. And he's like, all right. He's like, follow me. So in my head, I'm like, I know what this man has.
Yeah.
There could be only one reason why he put AJ Good's name in Follow Me. So we go into his office in the back, which is kind of like a makeup room type thing, and he's digging through this drawer full of all sorts of cool random masks. And he's like, yep, here it is. And he just fucking holds it up, and he's like, you think you like this? And I'm like, what? And at first I was like, I'm not going to call AJ. I'm just going to kind of like bring it to him. But I was so excited for you because I know how big of like a deal this is and how good it would look in the House of Masks. And even if for some reason Jason was like, you know what, Joey, like we worked together, me and Tom made your mask. Like, I want you to have this. I know you're a Slipknot fan. I would be like, this belongs to AJ. This belongs in the House of Masks. Like, as much as it would be cool to own it, it just wouldn't feel right. So that's when I FaceTimed you right away, and I was like, dude, I was like a little kid. I was like, dude, you're getting a fucking Slipknot, man. Like, I didn't even want to try to surprise you or anything. I'm just like, here it is. Like, you're getting this fucking mask. And the look on your face, I wish we recorded it. I wasn't even thinking.
I know. Yeah.
I wish I had your fucking reaction, because you know what? It was so genuine. And you were kind of like speechless, and it was in like the best way possible. And after we hung up, I was like, thank you for doing that, because you made my day, but I know that like this is going to go to a place where it belongs. And he was so stoked on it. And I'm glad that you guys finally connected, because that was a long time in the making that needed to happen.
Yeah.
And next you got to meet Tom, because he's great. And even though, he's a bit older, than our generation, a lot older, he would appreciate just your love for masks.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where you guys need to link up next. But yeah, and I was just so happy transporting it to you. And again, like, I didn't want to hide it from you because I was just so fucking excited. And I feel like even if I would have kept it under wraps, at some point during the ride from his place to your place, I would have just been like, dude, I got a fucking Slipknot mask for you. Like, I can't do this shit. So yeah, like that was it. But like I always look at it like, if anybody deserves anything stage used or one of a kind piece, it's you and your love. And you started from the basement of your mom's fucking place, like the basement of that fucking the house that you lived in, the salon, whatever it was.
Yeah.
But you built like something that's amazing with Slipknot, and the fact that you got the Sid mask and now this and the clown mask, it was like the ultimate weekend to really collect all of that shit.
Dude, what a fucking undescribable weekend.
Yep. And for you viewers, this wasn't scripted. Like, I'm talking from my heart and what really happened. Like, this is all genuine. That smile on his face is genuine. My happiness that you acquired that, and then you got the fucking clown mask, and then Sid, man, like, it's like everything happened for a reason. All the shit that we were all going through for months before that led up to a perfect festival, massive scores, and just, you can't get any fucking better than that.
You really can't. I don't even know what else to add to that, because that was just it was so real and so good. And
that's it. That's the genuine truth. There was no bullshit stripped down. So yeah.
Well, to be honest, that was perfect. I don't want to drag it out anymore, but I do have something to say, because why we have Joey here, I have a package from Joey.
I was literally going to ask if it arrived safely.
It did arrive safely, and that will be in an upcoming video very soon. I can't talk. You got me choked up, man. Yeah, dude. Well, thank you for that. I really, honestly, I don't know what else to add to it, because that was perfect. It was a big deal. I'm glad my friends got involved. Jason is the nicest dude on planet Earth. So yeah, I'm glad that we finally got to connect, and I can't thank either one of you enough for this, because I have a feeling if you didn't happen to just randomly swing by there for whatever reason, this would happen. So huge thanks to both of you guys, for real.
Absolutely, man. So yeah, have fun opening that package, and We'll be in touch.
Yes, sir. Hey, I love you, man.
I love your faith, man. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye. Joey Simpson, ladies and gentlemen, what an absolute sweetheart. And again, I know that I've said it all over social media. I've said it in the videos about PaleFest. He is the real MVP when it came to PaleFest. He absolutely threw down. He did a shitload of dirty work. He helped with load in. He helped with setup, breakdown, load out. He was my best friend for the entire weekend. I mean, he was the only vendor that stayed with me, and we did everything. We got up early, we got coffee together. I absolutely love Joey. He is the man. So make sure to go check out his stuff, which I will be dropping down below as well. Now let's go ahead and wrap this video up. All right, guys, there you have it. The story of the real We Are Not Your Kind Corey. I'm a poet and I don't even know it. In its entirety from everybody involved. Another massive thank you to Jason Baker and Joey Simpson for everything. Those are just two of the most genuinely nice guys that I've ever encountered in the business. And I'm very honored to now call them both friends. Me and Joey go way, way back, and me and Jason have really just started interacting, but I'm excited to see where that friendship goes. So with all that being said, the last thing that we have to do here in this video is show this thing off. So of course I'm gonna hit you guys with some nice up close shots of this piece to let you guys see all of the beautiful detail of this mask in its entirety, and that will be that. Thank you guys very, very much for watching. I really hope that you have enjoyed this video. It was quite different than what we normally shoot here on the channel, and I think that that's a good thing. So with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and get on into these hero shots. Until next time, this has been AJ Good here at the House of Masks, telling you to say no to drugs and alcohol, and yes to dreams coming true. And we'll see you guys in the next one.